Hi, here's the example that I promised that I'm going to do for you. This is calculating the mean and standard deviation for discrete random variables from probability distribution. So let's say that we have this probability distribution. Let's just check first that it is actually a probability distribution. So to check, I'm going to add all of the probabilities up and see if they add up to 1. So they add up to 1, and sure, that is a probability distribution. So how do we calculate the mean? I'm going to use this formula right here, which states that the mean is equal to the sum of x times p of x. That means whenever you see the sign of the sum, that means you need to create a column for that so you can add that up. So I will need to create a column for x times p of x. So I'm going to label this x p of x and then start calculating. So to calculate the first value, I'm going to say equals, and that is x, the first value of x is 0, times the first value of p of x is 0.06. So I'm going to multiply that with this, and then I'm going to go ahead and autofill the rest of my table. So this will be calculated automatically. And then lastly, the mean is basically the sum of the column that I just made. So just to make sure that I don't forget what I'm calculating, I'm going to say the mean there. I'm going to auto sum this column right here. So my mean is 1.49. Okay, so let's say that you have the mean and you want to calculate the standard deviation. To calculate the standard deviation, you first need to find the expression under the square root and then take the square root. So first I see that I have a sum sign here. I have the sigma. So this means I need to create a column for this information. To create a column for this information, first let me just label that column so I don't forget what I am doing. So this is, I'm going to calculate x minus mu raised to the second power and then multiplied by p of x. So to do that, I'm going to write it exactly how I see it. So that is parentheses. And then what is the first value of x? That is 0 minus mu. I either could write it as a number or I could click on the cell and lock it. If you are in doubt, just write it as a number. And then I'm going to raise this to the second power, and eventually I'm going to multiply it with p of x. So times p of x is, the first value of p of x is this value right here, so I'm going to click on that cell. The reason I separated this expression, the first expression, x minus mu all squared, by parentheses is because Excel will not understand that, and Excel will multiply 2 with the p of x instead of finding the square of the expression x minus mu and then multiplying that with p of x. So I need another parentheses from the other side to close the expression, and now I should click enter. To calculate the rest of them, I'm going to autofill my table. Now, to find the sum of that, you need to auto sum the entire column. So basically, we found the value of this expression for each one. Now we need to add all of it up. So I'm going to do the auto sum, and the answer is this number. Now, to calculate the standard deviation, I'm going to calculate the standard deviation here. So to calculate the standard deviation, I'm going to take the square root of the amount that I had here. So that is equal to square root of this number right there. And your standard deviation is going to be this number right here. Feel free to round it or to leave it like this. I would prefer that you round it to 4 decimal places. If you're doing your homework, just copy and paste that into your online homework and you should be good to go. I hope this video helped you, and I will see you in class.